everybody, and welcome to the Silent Hill Ascension pre-show. I'm Eduardo, joined here by none other than Layla, who will be running you, the audience at home, through our run of show.
Absolutely. Well, it's a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, so welcome. It's 5:40 p.m. Pacific. That means you're here with us for the Silent Hill Ascension pre-show. In about 20 minutes at 6 Pacific, you're going to see the Silent Hill Ascension show. And then, following shortly after that, you can come right back here to join me and Eduardo again for the post-show.
Yeah, I love doing these pre-shows, these post-shows with you, Layla, with Noah, as well, with all of you at home, the audience. It's a delight to have you here with Silent Hill Ascension. Reminder, you probably know it, but I'll tell you anyways. It's a socially interactive streaming series where all of you collectively shape and experience its ever-evolving story. You're going to collaborate and compete with others to try to make the choices you want to see occur. They may not, but that's because of the others. Don't worry about it. Now, when those decisions do end, that choice does lock in as canon. That's the version of the show everyone sees. It's a canon story shaped by you, the participating audience, every day. Speaking of canon, Eric makes his last week we had Eric makes his decision about Xavier's order for him to sleep with Krista, changing their relationship forever. And that was only so much that went on. To be fair, it's still a heart-to-heart.
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny because you say change their relationship forever, but I think it brought it back to what it used to be, right? Because, as I said, probably one of the top, 8 jokes I made on this show, we went from a scandalo to a scandal no. There was no a scandal to be had. Yeah, exactly.
We got to retire the fans. Like, we got to find new props. If the audience has suggestions, because like we can't use these anymore, you know, both our scandalous relationships are done with. So. I
have 3 fans just ready to go, and now who needs them?
Yeah. To be fair, we did need them at the end of Friday because for those who did get the chance to tune in live in our Friday post show, they got to see what could have been. But you know, what was is canon, and essentially. And we're going to break that down. Actually, there were a few important parts of that scene that obviously ourselves even included, right? But I know a lot of you, the audience, might have been wrapped up in the important part. But there was the element for me of, you know, Crystal was telling Eric about, you know, like Xavier might not be this understanding. And that's actually something we kind of glanced over, but is going to probably come into play as we move on with the story.
Yeah, Xavier is giving a lot of classic cult leader, right? In the sense that he seems very invested not only in what his members are doing professionally, but also in kind of messing with their personal lives. And again, it's facetiously speaking, like it is a mess. It is messy, and he loves to mess around. And I love that as a viewer because I love mess, me and Marie Kondo, like that. But, you know, I'm curious to see as to how he'll use his very intrusive and unwelcome power going forward.
No, for sure. I mean, he wanted the merging, didn't happen. So what's going to occur? But, you know, our audience loves Eric, doesn't want to see harm befalling Eric. So on that path, there was a concerted effort to protect Eric, I believe. Fair enough, you know, horror show, but you're going to have your favorites. So one of the things we're going to do, actually, we did talk about that scene. We set it up a lot in the last couple of weeks, but there's a lot happening, especially in Norway. We're going to actually throw it up to one of the scenes. So in chat, we did have Smiling Carl. We will break that down. This isn't the scene we're going to show to you, though. In a broken, clearly unhinged Hogan. Please enjoy.
Right on time. Here. She's in here. You said your daughter was here? Yes. Can't you hear her crying? Asta? Asta, my love. Come here. Mama? Haugen, come back, now! Why? What's wrong? No! She's gone! Why did you do this? I'm sorry. But it wasn't. It wasn't. I'm just glad you came. So someone else could... see.
Olivia? Is everything alright?
Officer Beckon, you won't believe it. My Asta, she's alive!
Olivia, Asta's been gone 15 years. You're supposed to be on leave. Do you need me to get mental health services out here?
No, it was her. Go ahead, tell them what you saw. Please.
Welcome back. I do hope you've enjoyed either seen that for the first time. Is like Astrid, there's a lot of characters in the story, but to me, Astrid kind of is the closest I would link to anything remotely close to the scientific method, being rational, being collected. And she's just facing the horror show, the whole role, everything's just coming at her. And like, I don't know how Astrid keeps it together, honestly.
Is she keeping it together? Is that what you would call keeping it together?
I mean, look. If you started seeing a bunch of monsters, Layla, like day in, day out, all the time.
Seeing one right now.
Anyways, you can continue talking about how that scene is with the audience. I'm going to just sit here quietly.
Eduardo, you are my best friend at work. Anyway, no, you're right. No, like, Astrid is really trying. She's got eldest daughter syndrome, you know, she's really, really trying for it. But she is surrounded by opportunities for disaster constantly. And what we just watched, right, Haugen, who she's got this tense relationship with, who's been kind of dogging her, but is now showing some vulnerability, is like, hey, my daughter who's been dead is suddenly here in this tube in this playground. Come check it out. And as a monster, I think Astrid reacted quite calmly.
Yeah, I like the come check it out. You know, like, you know, when someone tells you come check it out, what do you expect? What's the worst that can happen? We're getting pretty like up there on the scale. Now, the thing is, the decision is actually closing on that because Astrid has to react on it. So that's going to be on screen. Our production team's going to put the decision closing today. Layla, if you could walk us through it.
I would love to. So, decision closing today has to do with the scene we just saw, which is what will Astrid say she saw? Will it be A, for the redemption path, admit to seeing the monsters, B, deny seeing anything, the suffering path, a real I do not perceive it, or C, question Haugen's sanity, which is the damnation path? I think, you know, if this had happened sooner, I think I would have gone with do not perceive. But this is such a multiple monster, you know, reoccurring event that I would probably just go ahead and say, no, there's something happening.
Yeah, and the thing, Layla, is the audience is agreeing with you, right? I got it here. Although there's a damnation rally, of course there is.
Of course there is.
Thank you, audience, for keeping me on my toes. It's very important. I appreciate you.
Oh, they can never just let us have it.
No chance. Like, just, yeah. Like, obviously, we wanted to, you know, we're like preparing. We're like, there's going to be redemption, obviously. Because it's 60% redemption, by the way. It's not like every option is only. It's just this one specifically. But yeah, no, because you're right. Like, this isn't the first time. And the thing is, it's kind of going like, okay, this isn't the first time I've seen monsters. So like at some point, something's going on. Unless, you know, you had like the dead mother coming back. Like I can kind of understand.
Yeah, first time you see a horrible monster, shame on you. Second time you see a horrible monster, shame on the monster, right? Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm surprised Astrid hasn't asked for more help because, again, I have eldest daughter syndrome and I think I need to do everything by myself all the time. And if I show any weakness, then I'm awful and wrong and the worst. But I think if I saw monsters as often as Astrid is seeing monsters, you know, it'd be time to maybe raise a flag and go, hey, bad.
Yeah, no, you're right. And one of the things that's nice about this, by the way, the decision closing today, is like when these decisions close, you do get to see a scene around them. So you get the immediate payoff as an audience. So we'll let you enjoy that later. I'm not going to say more about it. No spoilers. Now, that was Norway, but we need to check our story in Pennsylvania. That's what we opened with at the start of our pre-show. for a pretty obvious reason given what the decisions were last week. That's going to be on your screen, our story so far in Pennsylvania. Layla, if you could walk us through it as well.
I would love to. So Rachel finds Faith back at home, but can she be trusted? And Rachel also let the Foundation recruit die a horrible death. Leonardo, I blow you a kiss. Rip to a king. Erica Krista did not take part in the merging as Xavier requested. You know, a shock to us all.
No, I mean, so like, you know, now that it's over, plus we let you see, for those who were here live on Friday, that scene. So obviously now like that knowledge exists in the wild of what it looked like. But that was the thing, is like, you don't know to which extent our development team was rooting for the damnation option, but you're the audience at home. You're the ones who get to make those choices. So, you know, we kind of like look at what you're doing, but we're obviously, you know, we don't want to like seem impartial, right? That would be a mistake. There are clearly some outcomes we root for. But that's fine. Like, what I want to respect as much as what you've decided is what matters, right? It's the story, that the way it gets shaped. Now that happened. So what will happen as a consequence of that, we'll have to see as the story unfolds. But how shall I put this? What's up with Faith?
What is up with Faith? I think it's a great question. I think kids are generally unsettling. I used to teach small ones, and I've told this story at work before, but there's nothing more devastating than an 8-year-old looking you in the eyes and telling you you're not cool. I think I have found the thing more devastating than that, and that is whatever is up with Faith right now.
Oh yeah, that's just, but because the thing is, right, that decision's like going to close in 3 days, and it's really close between the audience, right? They're like, half of them is leave her behind, and half of them is stay with her. And if you want a clue as to Faith, A, Faith is in quotation marks, and B, stay with her is a damnation option. Which, look, I don't actually know. Like literally, one of the things is, you know, we have different roles in the development team. So because of my role, I'm less versed in what might happen in the story. So I don't actually know what's up with Faith. Genuinely, audience, I'm like at the same level as you on this one. But those are pretty strong. It's like something's like, no. What will Rachel do with Faith? Literally.
You know, we
somebody's like, take her other eye. That way, yeah, no mistake.
Yeah, we would chat earlier. That really took me off guard. DeCook says that, you know, we could try to take her other eye, which I, you know, Rachel wouldn't not. I think she's she's trying.
See, that's the thing. Your Faith is in quotation marks with one eye, so you get a fully like fledged Faith with two. Anyways, that's the thing. It's just, we're gonna have to figure it out. But one of the things is that the story in Norway, we focused a lot on Pennsylvania last week, but the story in Norway started ramping up really hard this week, right? You got to see it in that scene with Hagen, but other stuff happened. So our production team's going to throw up the story so far in Norway, and Layla, you can, like, once again, delight our audience and regale them with what's been going on.
I would love to. So Mete is Haugen. Carl saw his creepy smile doppelganger in Ingrid's room. Yeah, shout out if you've been with us since, you know, almost day one, you know, back when Carl was chilling over at his goat pen and saw something in his window. Apparently that something was just the most, you know, chubby-cheeked, grinning version of himself. How long do you think he was standing there smiling like that?
I don't know. It was too much Carl. That's all I know. That it was just too much of the Carl. Just.
Oh, I think we've created a monster in the chat.
Like what we could do, Layla, we could emulate it. So like what we do is like we record these for our own interior purposes. So I'm gonna do this, so that when I get to see the recording, I get to see that creepy smile. It's important, right, to give yourself a scare in the future. Now that's done. And as you said, daughters in quotation marks. I love as well in chat. Somebody was essentially saying you only need one eye to spell Faith, which is excellent. But here's the thing, right? Last Friday, there was actually a ton. We were very, very focused on Eric and Krista. Obvious reason. It was A, it was fun. B, it was an important story moment. But there were actually two really important scenes in Norway, right? That set up between Astrid and Hagen. Payoff, so to speak, what happened in front of your eyes. But also creepy smiling Carl. So there's been a lot, essentially.
Things, I feel like when you introduce Pennsylvania and there's already a cult, there's already something kind of wrong. We started a little slower. We started with a family death. You know, things happen. And now it's escalating to kind of infecting this whole anyone connected to this family, it seems like, right? Because Haugen is, she seemed, speaking of put together, right? That lady was a cop, and she came in and she was like, I'm a cop, and I'm clearly have something against this family, but I'm still kind of abiding by the law. And now she's like, come see this monster in a tube that I think is my kid. And that's a long way to fall, Eduardo.
No, yeah, it's, you know, there's, well, actually, that's one of the things, right? Like, there's a theme that goes on in a lot of, I think, classical horror literature, et cetera, which is this idea that people, you know, put the facade up and like they seem well put together, but actually they're just falling apart due to various things that are going right. You know,
you want to,
again, it's trauma, but you know, it's just. Result of that, right? Maybe that was what Hagen, who she was. It's just we weren't able to see it before. Like, obviously got worse as a result of the events that happened. But, you know, do you really shift that fast if it wasn't for something underlying going?
I think you have to be pretty on the edge already, you know what I mean? To fall. You have to be dancing on the precipice to fall quite that quickly. And it's, I mean, like, you know, if you lose a kid, you're probably dancing on the precipice.
Yeah. And by the way, I want to shout out in chat the people who are putting the It's Trauma sticker as well as the bread, because I want to shout out Noah, who's not here tonight. But the mayonnaise toast is her signature. And we really hope you enjoy that. No edits. It was perfect. It didn't need anything.
It didn't need nothing.
Nope. It was good as is.
Oh, God. I think you've activated the cult by making the heart for Noah. I'm not joining a cult. Good try, though.
No, you're joining a pyramid-shaped self-improvement scheme.
Now that I think about, you know, but yeah, it's how can well, okay, hold on. No, we're resetting. We're moving on, Edward.
Yeah, so soon. Like, it's in a minute and a half. We're gonna let our audience watch.
I got distracted. The chat. Okay, so you're gonna tell me what happened in the last couple of days and take us out. Sure.
What happened right now was that Layla put some fantastic makeup tonight. But story-wise, we got a lot going on in Norway. Essentially, again, creepy smiling Carl. We saw Astrid dealing with Hagen. You're going to see that payoff, right? We saw the decision. It's going to close today. We're going to see how Astrid reacts to that. In the meantime, in Pennsylvania, we got our big payoff. So the question is, how does the story move forward from there? And you know, we've had Norway ramp up slowly for a few weeks, but it's starting to really get there. It's kind of like starting to cascade. We're seeing more and more happen. So as a reminder, Layla and myself will be back for the post show. We're going to let you watch the show. That's in less than a minute. We'll let you enjoy it, and then we'll break it all down as usual in our post show. For Layla, this is Eduardo. We'll see you soon. Enjoy the show.